Take two. Hey, IDS 302 session B. How you doing? Um, it is module 6, right? The final module. Um, Let me double check that. I know I just sent it out. I'm so confused already. Module 6 starts Tuesday. No, starts Wednesday, goes to May 1st. All these dates are flexible except for the final one. All right. So let's talk about a couple of side notes, I guess. I don't know if you get emails from ASU. You sign up for their kind of newsletter every day. It's an interesting article today, and I wonder if I could turn this around. I'm charging everything. Let's just unplug. Uh, like that one, law enforcement role is to support, I'm reading it backwards, public health officials, uh, ASU experts say. What I want to bring up on that is, again, integrative thought, interdisciplinary, disciplines being law enforcement uh, and health, public health, uh, integrating law enforcement, public health in terms of in ways that probably have not been done before. Uh, because I think our last major pandemic was 1917, right? So these are things to think about, observe when you see them, to acknowledge that these are integrative. This is interdisciplinary. And when we talk about interdisciplinary, remember we're talking about the disciplines, academic disciplines. Talking about integration, that's when we get to be more jack of all trades kind of thing. Remember, integration is more about the process. Interdisciplinary is a field of study. So even though when I say IDS equals integration, I'm saying that so you continue to connect those in a simple way that helps you to stay clear on that. Here's another one I wanted to talk about. There's another article from ASU, what it takes to fast track a vaccine. Oh, look, a reflection of my parking lot out there. Anyway, sorry. I always forget you guys, some of you guys are in places with not as good a weather as here, but take solace in the fact that I think it's supposed to be 100 on maybe Thursday or Friday or early next week. Oh, well. Okay, so what it takes to fast track the vaccine in there, and ASU's talking about this. I just found it interesting. It's a great article because it normally can take about a decade. But when there's a pandemic like this, what happens? They hope to see results in 12 to 18 months. What does that mean in the steps? There's an exploratory stage, a preclinical stage, a clinical development, regulatory review and approval, manufacturing, quality control. So they're stepping up into these things, and there's a number of companies doing it. And the reason I'm bringing that up in a course like this is, again, to think about the interdisciplinary aspects, the integrative aspects, where we're bringing in so much, okay, technology, humanity, human rights, if you will. You don't want a vaccine out there just to call it a vaccine if it's crap, right? I've heard some of these manufacturers that are working on it, and I'm not going to sit here and give out anecdotal, but I'm hearing that if the test is low quality, then what good is it? Is it like a placebo? That's not the way to do it. Okay, so again, it's an interdisciplinary world, it's an integrative world. You're going to step into that. Okay, another website I want to talk about that we highly recommend at ASU is the Career Professional Development Services. Now, you go to ASU just go to career.asu.edu. You will find a lot of tools in terms of career professional development. statistics, ideas, upcoming events on Zoom, obviously, online. I highly recommend it. Okay. It is at career.asu.edu. All right. So, discussion 5. I went through that. As you could tell, it was intended to be a little outside the box thinking in a lot of ways, to stretch your thinking. Had some really good ones where people really did stretch it. I was impressed. Overall, it was really done well. Uh, Emphasis, though, is still on capitalize the disciplines. Because if you're writing law enforcement with small l, small e, that's not a discipline. That's just talking about law enforcement. Capitalize, you're talking about law enforcement, the field of it, okay? And in this case, the academic discipline of it, right? Okay, so let's go with the first Easter egg, which is probably a repeat, but it's important. No I, me, my. Because now that we're coming in the home stretch, we've got one more discussion board left, which, yes, talk about yourself. That's what I'm asking you to do. But I'm asking you now in step 4 and step 5 to get rid of that no, I, me, my, which you've been doing. But it's just a reminder so you don't kind of go off on a tangent somewhere. And next thing you know, we've got I, me, and my. Use current researcher, current research. That's how you define yourself. You describe yourself. You're the current researcher. Your research is the current research, okay? So let's try to use that. Okay, module 6, discussion 6. Just a general, I want you to identify a couple of biggest, best, let's just say important things you've learned in your IDS experience thus far. Now, granted, this is probably, you've probably got to do a 401, right? Something like that, but thus far. Okay, maybe you can tell me what did you not see coming? What was not coming? Well, besides the pandemic and online. Well, you're already online, but what did you see not coming? Both good and not so good. You have some regrets. You have some inspiration for more. Talk about these things. How does it relate to your future plans? Uh, okay, I put use paragraph indents. This is a discussion text box kind of thing. If you can do that, great. If not, you're free to use a line gap between paragraphs. Use something. In your papers, your Word docs, got to use indents. Here, discussion board, I'm going to let it be a little more informal, but I don't want one long thing at 250 or more words, okay? I'd like you to respond to your classmates, 2 of your peers, see if, something resonates with you and something you hadn't thought of, okay? Please try to be creative. Please don't be cookie cutter. This is your last discussion in this course. Make it a good one. Okay, worth up to 50 points altogether. I'm going to get right into Easter egg number 2. I'm just calling it elevator pitch. Elevator pitch. Most of you should know what that is probably. That's kind of the idea of how do you sell yourself? How do you tell somebody yourself quickly, efficiently, as if you were on an elevator and you met somebody on an elevator and you had like 5 floors to tell that person about yourself, sell yourself. How do you do it? That's the elevator pitch, right? I want you to have one in your arsenal, in your toolkit. It's not something we've developed here. We've talked about a lot of different things, including IDS equals integration, that should help propel you into a worthwhile elevator pitch that you'll be proud of because you're going to use it. You're going to need it at family gatherings, job interviews, okay, talking to, mentoring others. It's good to have it. And for yourself, part of your identity, how you define yourself, is going to be interdisciplinary and has been an added ingredient, how you define yourself, part of your identity. It's good to know these things, like your own cultural or ethnic histories or your, you know, your identity. So think of your elevator pitch as something that it's going to benefit you. And I've been getting good at mine. I actually went to a few parties last holiday season, um, and it was not related to ASU, but it was kind of like some hoity-toity one I went to, and I was a little out of place there. But I just got started talking to people. The good news is many of them were my age, so it wasn't like a bunch of young kids, um, and the spirits were flowing. And I got to talking to people about, you ask each other what we'd done, and I had surgeons there. I had, head of health insurance programs. I had high business people, all kinds of different people, artists. It was very interesting. And so when I got to what I do, in conversation, I had a nice elevator pitch, I guess, going, and lo and behold, it was really cool. They really made me fit in, and they were curious about it. And whatever they did and whoever they were curious. In fact, one guy, super big shot somewhere, he wanted me to fly to Miami and ride one of his Harleys back to Arizona. But I think he said that after a couple too many whiskeys, and he never got back to me. So, uh, anyways, elevator pitch is an important aspect of your future. Okay, you should have one ready to go. All right. Now, just talking about step 4 that's due in a couple days. Um, Again, the specific formatting is important. It should be on a Word doc. It should have your name on it. It should just say step 4. You can just say Tanner step 4. It's fine. Uh, Paragraph indents, early and often. No I, me, and my. We've been through that. Citations in text, formatted properly before the punctuation. Per APA, look up Purdue OWL if you need to. It'll tell you exactly. And then down below, whatever's up on top cited needs to be in the works cited list. Long quotes, more than 39 words, need to be blocked differently. Again, Purdue OWL, or don't use 39 plus word quotes. All black ink. I don't need any pictures on this or diagrams, just your writing. I have a outline of how I think it could be broken down, and you probably will do it that way. Again, I appreciate my classes this semester because, as I've said before, I took this IDS 302 and I put it in a blender and hit frappe. Um, I felt that it wasn't integrative enough. So we went out, myself and Dr. Prisdia, and we looked at different textbooks. We said, let's go with Tanner. It's fairly easy to read. He's got his own method. It resonates with the other methods. So let's go with that. All right, but he's not teaching it, so it was up to me to do this. He helped on the 301. I did the 302, and you get certain ideas. Once a class is rolling, you get a sense, a context for time, context for the work. I've switched some things. I apologize. I've always tried to change things to make it easier for my students, but to be more clear on it, not to just have busy work, okay? Have a point to it. So this step 4, again, I don't have a step 4 example to show you. There hasn't been any, okay? So you're kind of caught up to my C session. You're both kind of doing the same thing right now, the step 4. So I don't have anything to go by except what I'm kind of giving you an outline there. Use academic scholarly writing, again, and do the best you can with it, and let me know if you have any questions. I think, let me double check in the instructions of this. Yeah, I have this I'm going to edit this because I don't like page minimums, but I know you do. So I'm going to leave the minimums, but I'm not going to go, I'm just going to say have page minimum on this first part. I'm going to say 1.5 page minimum the second part, and I'm going to say 2 page minimum on the other part. But do what you need to do, okay? I mean, don't focus on length so much. Focus on content, focus on thoroughness, and you will get to the minimums easily without having to worry about it. I hate minimums. Gosh. I'm gonna be writing a book this summer of short stories. What's the minimum? Just kidding. All right. So that's step 4. It's due in a couple days. I expect to see them rolling in a couple days. Now, regarding step 5 and the final paper. Hey, good news. I'm going to do a bonus video on Friday for you guys. So that means 10 extra points. And I'm going to talk almost exclusively about step 5 in the final paper. Help to guide you through that. That gives you 1 week exactly, because this paper cannot be late. Okay, I was making the final paper due on the 28th. When's it due? Hold on. Because that way I figured I'd, light the fire under you to get it done. But I don't want to penalize people here. Final paper, May 1st, 11:59 p.m. There's no late penalty because that's it. This thing shuts off at midnight, May 2nd. So May 1st is Friday, 11:59 comes, that's it, tick. That doesn't mean upload at 11:57, because if it doesn't finish uploading, it's not going to be finished. I'm not going to get it. So I want to emphasize, I'm going to emphasize today, and I'm going to emphasize next week. I mean, on the video I do Friday. Cannot be late on this paper if you expect to get something in, okay? I will not take it by email. I will not do it. If you miss the deadline, it's over. You miss the points, okay? I want to be really clear on that, because inevitably every single class I've ever taught, someone doesn't get the final paper in. So I battle with this. Should I just make it due on the 28th so that the people that just procrastinate can do it by the 1st? But I'm like, what's the point? Then I'm just penalizing people who have a proper pace. I'm just making it the 1st. You're adults. Turn it in on time. That's great. I know I'm really going over the top with this, but it's true. Somebody's always late, sends me the email the next day and says, oh, I had this thing. The only excuse is ASU goes down. Not you, not Cox. ASU goes down. Okay? So I would have a sense of urgency in my mind if it was me and it's important paper. I'd make sure I start submitting it on Thursday, not Friday. Okay? That way if something goes wrong, I have a chance. So don't wait till the last minute. Right? Which leads me to, so I'll talk about that. If you have any questions you want me to address on that video, please send them to me, please, please, please. The Easter egg number 3, it's a long one. Are you ready? I remember hearing this. Easter egg number 3 is no classwork will be accepted after 11:59 p.m. May 1st. Once again, no classwork will be accepted after 11:59 p.m. on May 1st. That's Easter egg number 3. Okay, so I hope everybody's doing well. I had a rough week. I was getting fevers at the end of the week, and I was pretty bummed out about that, but it seemed to have cleared up. Maybe it was a food, or maybe it's because temperature's getting warm. I don't know. Looks like I'm keeping this under 20 minutes. Good for us, right? You guys have a great week. Let me know if you got issues, questions, comments, concerns, and get a hold of me. Okay. Peace. Forks up. Guys, be safe.